Can you confirm with News Nation that you're running for president?
Boy, that would be a nice confirmation, wouldn't it? There'd be a lot of people that would be very upset about that. But I think you're going to be very happy. I think people are going to be very happy at what I do. I was going to do something last night, actually, that would have made the place really happy. And so we're doing it a few days later. And I think people are going to be very happy, very impressed.
To your predecessor, who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them, if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
There's breaking news out of Palm Beach, Florida. Former President Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home there is being raided by the FBI.
For the first time ever, a former president of the United States has been indicted.
Former President Donald Trump indicted for a second time.
A federal grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump. It marks the third time the former president has been indicted.
Breaking news on former President Trump. He's been indicted for the fourth time in 5 months.
Breaking news, this is an image that will be in the history books. This is the mugshot of the 45th President of the United States.
The optics of this is working to his advantage. Look.
Breaking news from Colorado, where the state Supreme Court has just disqualified former President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 felony counts.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Take a look at what happened.
The next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I proudly accept your nomination for president of the United States.
Let Trumpomania run wild, brother!
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Investigation underway after the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
As I was saying,
as you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Get in there.
Let's go! I want to be a whale psychiatrist. I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. I really wanted to do this all my life. I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania. NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes.
Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes.
Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime Mage, out of the 199. Happy to see all of you here tonight for a second episode of CobraCast. And I love at the end of that, I think that was Jen Psaki, and how deflated she sounded by announcing that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States of America. She sounded so depressed and so upset. And every time I hear that clip, I get so happy because it's just glorious to listen to that. So, hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We got Packy Proton says, notice that Elon never got to answer the question about what he disliked about the big, beautiful bill. Yeah, Trump wasn't going to let him say anything. Packy Proton says, Trump has made it to Japanese anime convention. Yes. This has been going around the internet. And listen, man, everybody loves Donald Trump. It's just that simple. Like, I know we have Trump haters in the chat, okay? They're here. They're crying right now. They're here and they're crying and they're very emotionally broken. They have pronouns in their bio. They have nothing going on in their lives. And it really makes them mad that the entire world loves President Trump. Look at this right here. Look at this beautiful sight.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Little loud. Everybody loves Trump.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
It's so good. It's so good. Man, fantastic. So everybody loves President Trump. Everybody loves the man because he is the greatest president of all time. Robot Boob says, shout out to the 199. Hail, brother. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yeah, the whole, what is this whole taco meme or whatever that they've been throwing at Trump or whatever? Taco Trump. Like, what were they saying? Let me see if I can find that one. Because they're just basically putting like all these talk. Let's see. So it's Trump always chickens out. So the left has created this thing called taco trades. Trump always chickens out. And they've tried to make like memes of Trump to try to be disrespectful. And all it is like really cool memes. And it's like, and then of course MAGA's gotten their hands on it. So now MAGA is doing stuff like this. And they think that Taco Trump is like supposed to be something where MAGA's going to get upset about it. It's like, no, we'll just meme it as well. Because that's what MAGA does. Like, these people are fucking retarded, dude. But I've seen I've seen some of them. Look at this. Look at this shit. What? What is this? You're not gonna out meme MAGA, all right? You're never gonna do it. Holy crap, what the hell is this? What? Look at this shit. What? Again, so the left thinks that this is disrespectful. Like, they think that MAGA is going to get upset about the taco memes. But one of my personal favorite ones is this one right here. This is probably the best one so far. Taco Trump. Let's freaking go. MAGA always wins in the meme department. You're never going to out meme MAGA. So don't even try. Oh, that's just weird. Look at, whoa, that is strange right there. What the? Why was he in a chicken soup? Because on the meme, it's taco. Trump always chickens out. That's the whole thing behind it. Look at this. Wait a minute. Oh my God, look. So this account posted this meme. Their headline name is 6-time bankrupt president. Oh my God. This is, the left cannot meme. The left truly cannot meme. They're not even good at these memes. Look at this one right here. They think this is effective. This is a win for the left right here. This is a win. This is them saying, hey, oh no. Oh no. This is bad. This is this is one of the greatest, weirdest memes I've ever seen. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. What is this? Okay, I don't know. Jesus. So yeah, that's the latest. That's the latest right there on the Taco Trump memes. Very interesting, to say the least. 8 o'clock says Donald Trump to protect anime from Texas. Fantastic Knox says make anime conventions great again. Miki for $1. Your Barmy says it lays a golden egg. Well, if you remember that clip from Saturday Night Live, you know, with Trump and it's Donald Trump's chicken joint or something like that. I can't remember. I can't play it here because it'll get blocked. Because they always block when you play SNL stuff, even if it's older stuff. But you should look that clip up. It's fantastic. It's a great clip. Jesus Christ, Tree Bear. Tree Bear is insanely quick with these memes, dude. What is happening? That's how quick Tree Bear is. Like, snap my fingers and it's done. Holy crap. There you go. Tree Bear making it happen. Making it happen. All right. Thank you, Tree Bear. The memes, you should follow that account if you have not. He does a great job. We got some interesting news. We're starting to heal a bit, maybe, because Vince McMahon is back, baby. Vince McMahon has a new company, and he has a former WWE executive involved with it. So we'll see what happens. Vince McMahon is back. So maybe we'll actually get some real wrestling. I think, to be fair, like I'm leaning into the meme of it because I personally think Vince McMahon lost touch of what made wrestling great a long time ago. I think Vince is Vince in his 80s now, if I'm not mistaken. I think Vince is in like his 80s. He's in like late 70s or early 80s, but Vince has done a lot of shit, done a lot of probably steroids and drugs. But I do think Vince McMahon lost touch of what the wrestling fan wanted probably like 20 years ago. But this will be interesting because Vince is not just going to go away. Vince is not going to go away. He's had his entire creation essentially taken from him. I know he sold them, but then he got ran out of the company. Had to sell all of his stock. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so Vince McMahon got a new company, and he's got some WWE executives with him now. And you can say a lot of things about Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon is an actual legitimate business genius. He's a marketing genius. And while he's way past his prime, I think he had like $2 billion in cash after selling all of his stocks to TKO, which now owns the WWE. I think he had like over $2 billion in liquid. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what steps he's willing to take. And I'm sure that he's very motivated to basically battle back and compete in some capacity with everything that's happened. Now, he still has his legal problems going on, and I don't know what's happening with all of that. Last I heard, John Laurinaitis is apparently working with the accuser, and he has basically done a heel turn on Vince, and John Laurinaitis has now joined. It's like a fucking wrestling match. So John Laurinaitis, who was caught up in the lawsuit with Vince, John Laurinaitis has now done a heel turn on Vince, and he's joined the accuser to try and take down Vince. It's crazy. It's just like wrestling, dude. I love it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think Vince McMahon is a very effed up individual and a psychopath. And I don't doubt that Vince has done some really horrible things behind closed doors, but did he do anything illegal? I guess that's the bigger question, and I don't know the answer to that question, but I don't doubt that Vince has done a lot of disgusting things, to say the least. I don't doubt that at all. Vault 95 says leftists are trapped in the deleted 20th century. Trapped in the deleted 20th century. Packy Proton says Mexican Iron Man will make a new rabbit chicken taco commercial with all these memes. He's pro-Trump. Yeah, we love Mexican Iron Man. Mexican Iron Man is fantastic. 12 says Ronan says, today I got a 2020 Infiniti Q50 root beer color with 300 horsepower twin turbo V6. Super clean, super happy. Hail the 199. Nothing makes a man happier than to have a badass ride. It just boosts your confidence like nothing. It's crazy how much an awesome, badass vehicle will boost your confidence. In the big scheme of things, it doesn't really mean anything, but to us, it means everything. It means everything. You, as a man cruising around in a badass vehicle, you can fight the world, man. You can fight the world. So, Chester Wolf, the Griffin says, does anyone else remember when Trump owned a chicken restaurant? It was actually crushing out of New York fried chicken in sales. I don't remember him actually owning one. I know that there was the whole SNL joke about it, but I don't remember him actually owning one. He probably did, though. Packy Proton says, check your Tweety tags for meme magic. Will do. AOE2 Freak says, hail Jeremy and the chat. Thank you. Mola Ram says, Vince is a young, vibrant man. Yeah, he's not as young and vibrant as Trump. That's for sure. But I do not doubt that we will hear from Vince in the near future. We will. So today, obviously, President Trump and Elon Musk were in the Oval Office together on Elon's official final day as a part-time government employee. And, the media's tried to spin this in all these different ways about, there's problems and all that, because of course they've been trying to create a divide in between Trump and Elon for a while, but that clearly is not the case. And President Trump actually tweeted out a video and said, thank you, Elon. So right here, President Trump just posted this epic video honoring Elon Musk and his service to our country. Every second is worth watching. It's been an incredible ride. Thank you, Elon. So let's watch this video that President Trump posted for Elon.
Musk has given me his complete and total endorsement. I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. As the first order of business, this commission will develop an action plan to totally eliminate fraud and improper payments within 6 months.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
That's a big one. I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
That is going to do more to unleash innovation, to unleash economic prosperity, when you don't have this crushing bureaucracy that answers to nobody sitting on top of the American people.
Well, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of money that's going to places where it shouldn't be going. I ran on this, and the people want me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
We are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
These are systematic, programmatic reforms that we're talking about here.
People work their whole lives and pay taxes, yet they find out that they've been giving $2 million to Guatemala for sex changes. It's outrageous.
We've been overwhelmed with the positive response of Elon's effort. There's going to be so much savings because of what Doge is doing that you should be really, really excited about it.
I'm very proud of the job that these people are doing. They're doing it at my insistence. It would be a lot easier not to do it, but we have to take some of these things apart to find the corruption. We found tremendous corruption. Thank you, Elon.
That's awesome, man. And again, the whole point of this is that Elon Musk did not have to do this. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Elon Musk wants for nothing, but he decided to put himself in this position with a ton of negativity, a ton of hate. And there was belief that if Kamala Harris won the election, that Elon Musk was going to be going to jail. That was a realistic possibility that, you know, that was there. And luckily, you know, Trump won, and Elon, by his purchase of Twitter, which do we remember how bad that was? I do, because I was banned from the platform. I was banned from Twitter 1.0 over bullshit DMCA claims. I was banned for over a year and a half, and I got my Twitter account back the day that Elon bought it. I had to put in appeal, obviously, but the appeal had been rejected like 100 times already from Twitter 1.0. So him buying Twitter fundamentally changed the entire landscape of the online discussion. I firmly believe that if we go back and if Elon never buys Twitter, I don't believe Trump wins. I don't believe that I'm still able to do YouTube in the capacity that I'm doing it. I don't believe that we're going to see any of the results across the board. Is it perfect? No. Is it better? It's light years better, but it could still improve. But yeah, man, his purchase of Twitter, he changed the landscape of this entire country by that. I mean, what did he pay for it? $40-something billion. He was the only guy that could do it. And now, you know, it is a day to celebrate him and thank him for his service, but also knowing that he's not going anywhere. He's still going to be, you know, right there with Trump. And I'm really thankful for him. I really am. Elon may have saved the U.S. and the world. Agreed. And that's not even like an overstatement. It's not an overstatement. That is 100% accurate. And I'm very thankful for him, and I hope everyone else is as well. So, Maximus BT says, "Where my breeds at? Always wanting the breeds." I didn't watch this whole clip, but I thought it was funny. Right here, we saw this earlier today, but watch this right here.
Peter Ducey here, outside the White House. President Trump is just about to fly away to a rally in Pennsylvania. And, you know, sometimes when something interesting happens with a world leader, the only person that you can ask who has insight is another world leader. And that's what I just did.
There was a video on board a plane that showed the First Lady of France slapping her husband, Emmanuel Macron. Do you have any world leader to world leader marital advice?
Make sure the door remains closed.
And that is the bite of the week. Peter Ducey.
Dude, what a perfect answer from Trump. Like,
make sure advice from. Do you have any world leader to world leader marital advice?
Make sure the door remains closed.
What a perfect answer, dude. Holy crap. Trump is the best. Seriously. I mean, what else could you say? Like, what else would you say? Like, make sure the door's closed, man. Everybody argues, everybody fights, everybody gets into, disagreements, no matter who you are. But let's just make sure we keep that behind closed doors, okay? I freaking love it. The greatest president ever. Star Wars and Stripes with $19.99. A $20 super chat says nothing. Love the profile picture. That was the thumbnail for our election coverage here on this channel, which were record-breaking streams. Man, will we ever get anything like that again? Probably not. Probably not. But damn, it was fun, man. It was so much fun. And we are living in a wild timeline right now, to say the least. Let's see here. I got this. So check this out. This was earlier today. I don't know where the location is. Breitbart posted this. This is one of my worst fears. And I'm not playing this to scare the rest of you, but it's probably going to mess with your head. But this is the most terrifying thing in the world. I mentioned something about this yesterday. This happened in South Florida a number of years ago. Look at this right here. Man's driving by and the bridge collapses. My question is, why did he keep driving? Why did you keep driving? I would have slammed on brakes, bro. Let me slow-mo this. Let's slow-mo this. Let's do 0.5. Okay, let's mute it real quick here. So look at this. I would have slammed on brakes right then. I would have been like, I ain't going under that bridge. People are like, is it AI? I checked, and there was nothing that said that this was AI, because everything I see on the internet, I question. So I did check, and I didn't see anything that was saying it was AI, but I did check. Yeah, he was committed. Yeah, I hear you on that. He definitely was committed. So I do respect the fact that he's like, hey, man, I ain't going nowhere. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So Grok says the bridge collapse in this video likely occurred on I-27 near, is it Talia, Texas? About 50 miles south of Amarillo. Now, Grok gets things wrong a lot. But news reports indicate a crane truck hit the bridge, causing the partial collapse. So, oh, yep, that is it. That is it. Okay. Grok got it right. Yep. So that is where it's from. So that was in Texas. Interesting. So there you go. But yeah, man, that's like my worst fear ever. But let's talk about some good news. Okay. Some good news. Legalize adulthood for $20. Says Dave Rubin called. He says he's making popcorn when the next Glenn Greenwald video drops. Dude, I texted you the other day, legalize adulthood. I was like, hey, man, how you been? I haven't heard from you in a while. So I don't know if you got that message, but thank you, legalize adulthood. Listen, I don't know exactly I'm assuming that Glenn Greenwald made Dave Rubin very happy with the videos. I'm assuming, but I don't know, man. So apparently another gay conservative who's buying children. Really weird stuff, man. Really weird stuff. Solo Felix says, and the Macrons equal a couple of dudes hashing things out. Southeastern Kaiju says, just for the XP. Who's ranked number 1 right now? Johnny 2x4 is number 1. Z Highness, I see you at 3. How does the XP work? I still don't understand it. I don't understand that. Interesting. Anyway, so we do have good news, and I told you this the other day when I was talking about Trump and getting involved with Netflix Yahoo. And I said, that all I cared about was the fact was Ben Shapiro is going to be mad. And guess what? Little Ben Shapiro is very, very mad at Donald Trump. Of course, little Ben Shapiro is mad at Donald Trump.
Ben Shapiro is very upset with President Trump because the president is trying to negotiate a deal with Iran to get them to stop enriching weapons-grade uranium before Israel loses their patience and strikes those nuclear facilities, something that Sean Hannity said yesterday would be within weeks, not months. And hopefully that's just propaganda that's being put out there for President Trump to use as leverage to get the deal to go through. Good cop, bad cop. So he can say to them, hey, if you don't agree to these terms, then, Israel is going to strike those facilities, cause a whole mess, which would then obviously suck the United States into even more of Israel's problems. But because Iran is mortal enemies with Ben Shapiro's favorite country, he wants them completely destroyed and is very upset about President Trump possibly preventing that.
So a kind of shocking story from Axios yesterday emerged that suggested that President Trump had cautioned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a phone call last week not to take any action that could jeopardize negotiations between the United States and Iran on a new nuclear deal. Okay, so first of all, I have a question. Israel is not involved in those negotiations. So why should Israel hold off? Real question.
President Trump answered that question because he's trying to get a peaceful solution to the situation over there so that things don't escalate into a larger conflict, possibly extending into World War III, Ben.
How dare President Trump try and prevent World War III? How dare he do that? So little Ben Shapiro is really, really mad about Trump trying to prevent World War III.
Just like how the war on terror was expanded by the neocons after 9/11 from the search for Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda into the war in Iraq when Saddam Hussein and Iraq had absolutely nothing to do with it. But sadly, most Americans are unaware of the clean break memo because, well, conservative media isn't going to cover such things. Briefly, a 1996 memo that was done by a study group led by Richard Pearl and Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, where they laid out a new approach to solving Israel's security problems in the Middle East with an emphasis on Western values and advocated for toppling Saddam Hussein. Oh, stay tuned because there's plenty more to come in this video, but obviously you're not going to get information like this from any of the...
Yeah, by the way, if you guys are not, I know most of you already subscribed to Mark Dice, but mods will be dropping links in the chat to Mark Dice and his channel. He's great. He's awesome. And he will talk about things that most people on the right will not talk about, at least on YouTube. Legalized adulthood for $19.90 says discount $199, not tweeny. When are you putting those Marvel 199 issues on display behind you? I can actually do that this weekend. So I have another setup here at my house that I'm working on, and I could probably get those in a better view in that setup. So I will work on that. Because I'm working on that setup this weekend. So thank you, Legalize Adulthood. Same Millennial says, please don't lump Glenn Greenwald in with Dave Rubin. He didn't buy his kids. He lovingly adopted them, and his husband passed away of cancer years ago. So I'm not like, I have my issue is you're welcome to be gay and have you a boyfriend or a husband or whatever. I think children should grow up in a home with a mother and a father. That's what I believe. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I believe children deserve a mother and a father in the home. So that's my stance on it right there. So I have nothing against you if you're whatever you want to do with your private time in your private life. That's perfectly fine. I have friends that are that. Shout out to Epic Mike. But I just believe that children should be in a home and raised in a home with a man and a woman, because that's the only way to properly raise a child, in my humble opinion. Mola Ram with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Fantastic. Mr. Knox says, just saw a video of Zelensky on some talk show wanting troops from other countries to fight on the front lines with his troops, or what's left of them, which includes U.S. troops. How about no, Zelensky? How about massive, big fat no for Zelensky? Zelensky's a piece of shit, man. He always has been. Vader Mike for 10 says, I can't tell who speaks faster nowadays, Little Ben or Destiny. Here's for the 199. MAGA, thank you so much. Lingo Kenobi for $50. Hey, Jeremy, I got some bad news. Capital One canceled my Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order, so I won't be able to play it with you guys on Mario Kart World. I just cussed out Capital One, so I have to wait until it's available. Sorry, guys, I'm pissed. So Capital One, your credit card company or bank or whatever, they canceled it. So Linko, if you have the ability, there's a channel that I want you and anybody else that's interested in pre-ordering a Switch 2 or getting a Switch 2 on launch day. There's a YouTube channel named Jake Randall. Jake Randall. I'm sure the mods will look this up. That dude is the expert in terms of pre-ordering or getting a console that is in high demand. So YouTube channel, Jake Randall, he's got like 300 and something. I think he's like 300,000 subscribers or something like that. He's a super nice guy. He's a super nice guy. He probably hates me if he knows who I am. So I'm not interested in like, hey, Jeremy gave you a shout out. You don't have to tell any of these motherfuckers I shout them out, because I don't care if they hate me, love me. I don't need to be friends with them. It's a good channel and he focuses on helping people get that stuff. So check that channel out and maybe he can help you out. Brian 1 says no gays should buy kids. Glenn and Dave are gross. Nico for 20 says, Jeremy, let's see, what's your thoughts on Mind's Eye? Also, hail the 199. What is Mind's Eye? Is this something I'm not aware of? What is this? And then John freaking Murdoch. John freaking Murdoch. So, let's see. Oh, the game? I'm not even familiar with this game, so I haven't even heard about this. It looks pretty cool, though. Let's see. This looks awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all right here. This is Mind's Eye.
Intelligence. Introducing Mind's Eye. Your story takes place in the city of Red Rock, a desert metropolis where corporate greed and political ambition are in constant friction.
Now, the frame rate's probably going to suck because I'm on StreamYards, so the frame rate may suck.
In a future that's closer than we think, technology takes care of almost everything, so we don't have to.
Of course, sir.
Artificial intelligence connects every device into one all-knowing system. But you are not part of the system. You are Jacob Diaz.
This is 100% got GTA/Cyberpunk vibes to it. I love the feel and the vibe of this trailer.
What starts out as a personal quest as you step into the lead role in a conspiracy involving criminal forces, an unchecked military, and a threat so sinister it endangers the survival of humanity. You have expert skills making you extremely valuable to some, but highly dangerous to others.
You find Diaz yet? No, still out there. When we find him, I'm the one who ends him. Boss, it's a better idea. Remember that girl, the hacker? Yeah, Robin Hood. Yeah. Turns out she's been holed up downtown in some kind of safe house. Can you drive? Can you shoot?
Hardly any white people so far.
As you're confronted with increasingly perilous situations, you must form unlikely alliances in order to survive.
Coordinates are in the GPS. Now drive!
Your talents at the wheel will be called upon as you find yourself both the hunter and hunted. Dramatic new twists explode onto your...
That's a 6-minute trailer. We're not going to watch all of it, but yeah, that looks freaking cool as shit overall. So just from a gameplay perspective and an atmosphere perspective, absolutely, that looks cool as shit. So thanks for letting me know about that. John freaking Murdoch 450 says, yes, Jeremy, you are an old-fashioned geek. I happen to agree with you about gay couples child issue. Hail the 199. Hail Jeremy, mage of the 199. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Let's go. Always here to support. I saw you drop the $50 super chat on Friday Night Tights too. Good man. Good man. River Miles says, I'm old-fashioned. Jeremy's age, not into hot dudes. And I support USA dropping bombs where necessary. Bash fishing out of my kayak in New England all weekend. Mind's eye looks good. Yeah, I mean, first of all, $100 River Miles. Holy crap. Secondly, I desperately want I've been talking about this shit for years. I don't know. There's gonna be a couple people in the chat. This is gonna get clipped by people that have been watching me for years, but I am legitimately dying to go fishing. Like, I want to just go a weekend, no phone, no internet. I just want to be out on the water and I want to go fishing. I just want to go fishing. I don't care if it's freshwater or saltwater. I just want to go fishing and detach from the internet completely. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I want to leave the phone behind and just go fishing and enjoy the water. Enjoy the sun and the water. Thank you, River Miles. I appreciate it. I know I have. I know I've been trying to go for years. Every time I go, I'm like, can't put the fucking phone down. Thank you. $100 super chat. River Miles. Devin for 20 says, hail the 199. Jeremy, have you been able to look into the unsubscribed Buffalo schools situation? I have not, and it's not because I'm avoiding it. I simply have just been there's so many things that I'm focused on. If you have a link of maybe a 5 or 10 minute video that I can watch right here, I will happy to do that. Eric, mods, if there's like a 5-10 minute video that kind of breaks it down or summarizes, I will watch it right here on this channel right now. So many of you have wanted me to look into that. So, yeah, it's not that I've been avoiding or anything. I just I'm trying, like, there's so much. Like the other day I was Gary wants me to catch up on Mobland, and I've watched the first 2 episodes of Mobland, and it's so freaking good. But there's like 9 episodes, so I got 7 more episodes to get through. If I wouldn't have spent 6 hours playing Battlefront last night, but going to Orlando, just covering Epic Universe, been so busy. But yeah, if there's a video, I would love to look into it. Let's see. Greg, let's see. Greg, let's see. Trump said he'd stop the Russia-Ukraine war day 1. So what happened, Jeremy? Greg, what happened is you're a fucking retard if you're asking some low-tier YouTuber to answer questions for the president of the United States. The fuck do you want me to do? What the fuck do you want me to do? Why do you want me to tell you what he had for breakfast? Do you want me to tell you why he makes sarcastic comments? Why the fuck should I know why Trump hasn't ended it? Maybe because he's got 2 narcissistic dictators that he's trying to deal with. But the fact that you're coming in here to ask me just shows how fucking retarded you are. What happened, Jeremy? What the fuck do I know? Jesus. Maybe ask different questions like, why is it every woman says when you sleep with them, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway because your penis is so small? That's the questions you can answer, okay? So, hot dog down the hallway, Greg, there you go. Answer that question. Mosquito dick. Damn it. Swig of water for the working man. These retards, man, they're like, I don't like Trump and I need someone that's a Trump supporter to answer questions for me as to why Trump is mean. I'm like, good Lord, man. Like, okay, you don't like Trump. Go watch the Kranzensteins. They will give you all of the answers you need as to why Trump is the worst president in history and he's a dictator and he's the worst person that's ever existed. Okay? Kranzensteins. They'll give you all of your talking points back to you. It'll be wonderful to hear. Holy crap, you guys are blowing me up on like super chats and gifted memberships. I can't keep up. River Miles, super chat text restrictions are fucking retarded for $50. And then River Miles drops 50 gifted memberships while I'm screaming at Greg for asking me a stupid question. 50 gifted memberships. What is happening right now? Holy crap. What are you doing, River? River Miles. What is happening? Whoo! Kranzensteins are gay AF. Jeremy is it. River Miles has taken over the show. River Miles owns the show now. John Murdoch was the owner. Laughing Man used to be the owner. Legalized Adulthood still is the owner. Whoever else. There's so many people. Darth Manic dropped to 500. I don't even know, man. There's so many people that donate all this money. They all own. I work for them. I don't work for myself anymore. Holy crap. And then Mickey's here. It says, Greg, hi there. What's up, Drunk 3B? I see Jay in the chat. Jay is currently in Texas right now. Is Greg hanging out with you, Jay? Oh, man. What the hell? We've lost complete control of this show. I don't know what's going on anymore. All right. So, Linko, I hope you find that YouTube channel that I was telling you about, because you will get a lot of help from them, especially if you're in the market for a new console that you don't have pre-ordered or anything like that. He should be able to help get you pointed in the right direction. Taker says the current prime minister of Poland is named Donald Tusk. Is that true? Grant Potato says, I got Battlefront 2 on my PS5. Do I need to have a locals account to play, or am I able to join? I don't really know how. Like, Cam Man could probably help you out with joining. But I will be playing Battlefront 2 tomorrow on my D-Day Cobra Gaming channel. And I'm probably going to be live for probably 5 or 6 straight hours, because that's what happens when you play Battlefront 2. And I am playing on PS5. I do have it on Steam, but apparently PC is broken and hacked to hell, so I'm not going to be playing it on PC. But I will be playing tomorrow night on D-Day Cobra Gaming. And Cam Man should be able to kind of help you get directed on that. But in terms of like, we're going to be playing exclusively on locals at times for sure. So that's probably going to give you an easier, route in terms of if we play things like that. Let's see here. Got that. River Miles, your $50 super chat, 50 gifted memberships. Insane. River Miles for $100 super chat. Bo Briscoe for 20 says, I but all of you would rather my husband and I adopt a kid and raise him in a well-functioning, loving military family instead of them living in a shitty foster care until they're 18-year-old criminals. Hang on. Let's see here. All right. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I, but all of you would rather my husband and I adopt a kid and raise him in a well-functioning, loving military family instead of them living in shitty foster care until they're 18-year-old criminals. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, all I can say is that I'm not taking a personal shot at anyone. I'm making a blanket statement that I think that the best case for any kid is to have a mother and a father in a home. That's how I feel. That's what I believe. You can take it personal if you want. It's not meant to be personal, but it's meant to tell you what I think is the best path for any child. This is the thing that bothers me with people that believe that their sexual identity defines who they are and defines everything. Like, go be gay. I don't give a fuck. But that doesn't mean that I have to say things that apply to your feelings. I don't have to tap dance around your feelings. I don't know you. I'm not trying to take a personal shot at you. I'm just telling you what I believe. If you choose to take that personally, then go right ahead. It's simple as that. I don't understand the person that thinks that their sexual identity is the thing that defines them as a human being. It's a really weird dynamic. It's a strange way to live. And I don't know what to tell you, man. It's strange. 8:00 says Ben and Hassan should move to their new favorite countries and stop complaining about America's involvement in foreign wars. 8:00 for $50 super chat. Absolutely. Thank you, 8:00. And I mean, ultimately, Ben Shapiro. Again, so that's like my thing where when I make a statement about Ben Shapiro, and it's like, I don't care if Ben Shapiro loves Israel. My question is, go live there. If you love it so much, why are you here in the United States of America? Now, some people may get offended by that if they choose to be. I don't. It's just like anything else. If I'm living in the United States of America and I live in Kansas, and I'm constantly telling you how much I love Florida. Florida is my focus. Florida is what I stand for. Somebody in Kansas is probably like, why the fuck don't you go live there if you love it so much? Like, that's a good idea, actually. Why don't I go live in Florida if I love it so much instead of living in Kansas? You know what I mean? So that's my question for Ben Shapiro. If you love Israel so much, if it means so much to you, and if it's all you care about, and if it defines you, why are you in the United States of America? I think that's a fair question. Doesn't mean he has to do anything, and he shouldn't be offended, or anyone should be offended by that question. It's a logical question to ask someone who has all of the resources in the world to go to the very place that they claim that they love. So, like, Ben doesn't have the excuse to go, I can't afford to move there. Yes, you can. I can't run my business from there. Yes, you can. You literally can be there and do everything that your life requires you to do, but for some reason you're here. River Miles says, but chat called it. I'm drunk. River, please. I say this with all sincerity. As long as you can afford it, I support drunk super chats. Okay, as long as you can afford it. But if you can't, stop right now. Let's see. But it's the same thing as like you're drinking right now. Now, if I sit here and I tell people, like I have many times on my stream, I don't like to drink. I don't drink. I've never had alcohol in my life, and I never will have alcohol. Now, someone that drinks is probably like, oh, well, I guess me drinking just offends you, Jeremy. And it's like, no. If you take that personal, that's your problem. I'm just telling you how I feel. It's not a personal attack on you if you drink. By me to say I don't drink and I'm never going to drink, that's not a personal attack on anyone that drinks. That's a personal opinion that I have. If you choose to take that personally, that's a you problem, not a me problem. The Under Armour Gamer says, guys, Jerry isn't gay. He's the father of the other siblings. Thank you for the 10. Chester for 20 says, me as a furry and anime person, I think Texas is going too far with that. Yeah, I understand weird things happen at furry conventions, but nobody seems to be interested in shutting down these alphabet parades at conventions. So the thing about this, and Reb says has a video about this whole anime bill, and from what I understand, it's nowhere near what is being presented. With that said, there's a lot of messy language in there that has been a cause of concern. But from what I understand, that bill is not nearly as bad as the interpretation of it has been. However, the language in the bill is sloppy. That's what I hear. Look at this, man. We've got Trump haters in the chat. We've got furries in the chat. We've got gays in the chat. We've got all types of people in this chat. What is CobraCast? What is CobraCast at this point? All right. What has CobraCast become? We got Miki in the chat. John freaking Murdoch, 450 says, Jeremy, did you just volunteer to be my minion? Not sure I can accept some hick from LA. John, I already told you, man. I don't know if you're like a millionaire, but I said you need to like invest. I told Laughing Man that too. I think I told Legalize that too. I was like, somebody give me a multi-million-dollar investment so I can build G&G into what I want it to be. Teresa Young says, I can't give big numbers, but I can, but I give when I can. Hail the 199. Teresa, you've been watching forever. And this is the thing, like, I know we get a lot of big super chats on Geeks and Gamers and this channel, and I never want anyone to feel like if you can't give or you don't give, you don't ever have to give me a dime to watch my show. You don't ever have to give a dime. You can just sit here for free and tell me, hey, Jeremy, I'm going to watch you for free. And you can go fuck yourself. I'm never giving you a dime. And I'm like, you're welcome to be here. You're welcome to be here all day, every day. So, the Miki will inherit the earth says there's a clip going around of Garfunkel and Oates where they have a list of quotes and ask who said it, Kanye or Hitler. It's a 15-year-old clip. Holy shit. Joe Bits is community leader number 45, soon number 47. Joe Bits, I saw you in the chat before we started. You said Jeremy's been lying to us. I saw him at Culver's. Have a confession to make. I did have Culver's once when I was in Orlando, when I was out of town. When I was in Orlando, had Culver's once. And it wasn't that great. It was fine. It's fine. I didn't really think I was like, oh, I need to have this again. It was fine. It was fine. But I was like, did Joe Bit see me? Yeah, but it was in Orlando. So I did have Culver's once in Orlando. Fell off. It's over. It's over, boys. It's over. Lord Botha says, Mind's Eye is made by ex-Rockstar devs at why it looks like GTA, and it has been in development nightmare with poor testing reported. I'm going to look into this game, though. It does look interesting to talk about. So, BFSD says 1946. You know what happened in 1946? A man was born. Guess who? I got a question. You listen to West Coast rap. Have you ever listened to Cypress Hill? They're good. Been listening to them lately. I listened to a little bit of Cypress Hill back in the day. That's $19.46, by the way, that super chat. Very nice. I listened to a little bit of Cypress Hill back in the day. I can't say that I was never like a huge fan of them. But but yeah, so Bo Briscoe says, nah, bro, don't take it personally at all. Been following over here in G&G sphere for a long time. Whom I sleep with doesn't define me. Y'all are my people. All right, see, you're cool then. We're cool. We can have a disagreement or I can have an opinion, and that's all that cares, man. We can have, like, my friendships are built off of me disagreeing with my friends. I like arguing. I like it. I think arguing is healthy. I think debating is healthy. I think fighting and arguing is healthy. And so that's how I've always felt about things. I know everybody's not going to agree with me. I mean, some of you actually think fucking BVS is a good movie in the chat. I know you're out there. There are people in my chat, unfortunately. And by the way, I'd rather have gay people in my chat than people that think BVS is a good movie. Okay? Just to be clear. If you're gay, you're cooler than the people that like BVS. All right? That's how low I think of the BVS crowd. So, there you go. That's really going to get him fired up. That's really going to get him fired up. River Miles for 50 again. Says drinking gin, Monster White and Lime. White and Lime. I live 15 minutes from Harvard, and I am just disappointed in all the figs that we are required to pay for. As long as you're not drinking and driving, okay? That's the most important thing. No drinking and driving. River Miles, we need confirmation of that in the chat, all right? You guys think, you know what? No, fuck that. I see you in the chat talking shit right now. No, I'm not letting that slide. We're not letting that slide. I saw somebody said it. Fuck that. Hang on. Let me find it. All right. Somebody said BVS is better than Interstellar. Somebody said BVS is better than Interstellar. I got news for you. Whoever said that, get ready to be proven wrong, because if Interstellar didn't exist, neither would this.
The Fent doesn't exist within the third dimension. The Fent is a dimension.
Droid, my nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's been here this whole time, contained by gravity, Chauvin's third law. The Fent is as old as space-time itself.
He sent us here to find the Fent.
He didn't send us here at all. The Fent did.
The Fent is sentient?
It's been trying to tell us something, Bill. I need to get back to the Hellcat shuttle right now.
I'm on my way.
I can't fucking breathe in this suit, nigga.
Holy shit, nigga.
Get out there and save the world, nigga.
Whoo! The internet is the greatest place ever made when I see shit like that, dude. Holy crap, dude. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bo Briscoe for 10 says, then we'll do just fine. Haha, Keaton is the GOAT, and the Dark Knight trilogy remains supreme for storytelling. Also, Interstellar is good. You might be one of my favorite people in the chat now after saying Interstellar is good. There you go. Michael Keaton is amazing. Christian Bale's my favorite Batman, but Keaton is second. So I love Michael Keaton's Batman. I think Batman 89 and Batman Returns hold up incredibly well. And of course, Dark Knight trilogy is amazing. So 1992 space movie for 20. Jeremy even has a random space movie from 1992 watching him. By the way, Ripasend just did an announcement video for Gary's book, and I think you might want to check it out, but Jeremy won't read my super chat because he's illiterate. Really? Okay, hang on. Let's see, Eric. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Ripaverse Comics official announcement, waiting for Nerdrotic, from prison to YouTube. Nerdrotic's first book is coming soon from Ripasend. The hybrid graphic and written memoir traces Gary's transformation from prisoner to breakout YouTube star. Look at this. This is fucking cool, man. I have not seen this. This is the first time I've seen it. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. That is cool as shit. Let's see. All right. I got to retweet that. You got to go retweet that. My tweet. Let's see. Does it show up yet? There we go. I'm happy for Gary, man. I'm happy for Gary. I'm happy for Ripa. So that's awesome. Thank you, 1992 Space Movie, for letting me know about that. Gary's like one of my best friends on YouTube, man. Legitimately, like we are just, he's such a good dude. Always got his back. And I know he, feels the same about me. He's just awesome, man. And his story, this is why I've been pushing the whole Gary needs to go on Joe Rogan. Gary has an incredible story to tell. There would be an incredible story for Gary to sit down with Joe Rogan and talk to Joe Rogan about his journey, about what happened with him, about, going through prison, going, being on drugs and everything he went through, getting, moving past that, becoming an internet megastar. It really, really is an amazing story that I think more and more people need to hear it. So, because he is an inspiration. Like, I know it's super gay to say that about your friends, and I'd never tell him that to his face. I just tell him he's stupid and gay to his face. But he's truly an inspiration, man. What he's been through. So, love the dude, man. Love the dude. All right. So let's see where we're at. Congratulations to those guys. Noble Spitfire says, bro, what's up with the Star Wars Renaissance all of a sudden? Andor season 2 being good for the nerds. Battlefront is back. Vader Fortnite is based. Ray's nice assets are getting some needed attention. I think that I do believe that Fortnite Star Wars update did a lot for Star Wars, especially the AI Vader thing. And then I think everything else benefited from it. I know that there are a lot of people that enjoy Andor season 2. And even if I don't like it, I recognize that a lot of people do like it. It's a smaller group of people in the big scheme of things to Star Wars, but people did like Andor. And there was a lot of good, positive discussion going on around that. And now Battlefront 2 getting the resurgence. I'm so happy for that because I truly love Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2017. And yeah, right here. Daisy Ridley's assets getting some attention. And as I've said in my quote tweet, perhaps I treated you too harshly. And so this is how you truly save Star Wars right here. This is how you save Star Wars right here. Lucasfilm. That's how you save Star Wars. Okay? There you go. You do that, you're going to make $1 billion. You're going to make $1 billion and it'll be over with. That's all you got to do. So yeah, I just said perhaps I treated you too harshly on that one. So, all right, you guys took over the show, man. I was rolling, man. I had a little Ben Shapiro video. This is what I love about the CobraCast chat. CobraCast chat at any point in time are like, "Hey, we about to take over the show," and you guys did. Alex of the Mountain says, "What happened to Biden curing cancer?" Brian Stewart says, just a couple of dudes, some rods, and dangling bait. JB's Spooky Review says, you've got some drama brewing on Locals. What's going on Locals? Is there like somebody mad on Locals or something like that? Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Oh, because if we don't get Raw again on Monday, we riot. SmackDown tonight. Those are no SmackDown. I was mad. So I got pissed about Locals the other night. So this was on Locals. I was really fucking mad. So right here. Hey guys, I've set up 3 streams now and this shitty fucking platform won't work. So this is what the problem is. I got Beardo here. He's trying to help me, but I try to click stream settings to get the RTMP. It won't open. It won't do shit. This fucking website is broken and it pisses me off. So this is the problem right now why I can't stream. This is why you keep seeing me set up so many different links, because these dumb fucks can't get a fucking platform that works. So I don't know if we're going to stream tonight, but I'm still working on it. So there you go. I was really mad about that. I just couldn't. I couldn't get the stream to work. So let's see. Mark says, bro should ask real questions like, when are we playing more Battlefront? Tomorrow night on D-Day Cobra Gaming, we are playing more Battlefront. Miki says, Greg, hi. Oh, yeah. Hi there, hot man. McCock says, Jay is the best of us. Your Barmy says, Meek Nasty gonna find Jay in a dark alley. River Miles says, nah, Chat is always takeover. I just support Chat and Jeremy. Thank you, River. You have been insane tonight, brother. Don't drink too much. Darth Gavel says, Jeremy, you sound really gay. It's kind of weird. Hydrocoptic says, ba weep, ga weep. I'm not going to try to say that because I might have said something wrong. 199 woohoo. There you go. I'd rather have an imperfect Trump 2.0 than 4 years of Kamala making DEI permanent. We would never recover. It's all about perspective. Agreed completely. Miki says, I may be gay, but I like hot men like Greg. Yikes. Slaglass says, how does it feel to be told what super chats you can and can't read on your channel in case you might upset a certain businessman? Great, I guess. I don't know. My rule, I nobody told me. I only said, like, when you rip-averse people, like, if y'all want to clip me, that's fine, but you got to send a minimum of $50 super chat in order for me to read it on the main event. Like, that's the rule. I don't make the rules up. I have to follow them, though. So the rule is if you hate Ripa, hate him. Fucking hate him. Talk shit about him. But if you're going to try to get a clip for your channel, you got to pay me minimum $50 for me to read it in order for you to get the clip. That's the rule. So you go. You know what? Fuck it. Now it's $100. All right? $100. If you want to talk shit about Ripa, feel free to do it. But you got to pay me $100 in order for me to read it so you can get your clip. $100 now. The wall just got 10 feet taller, baby. Sammy says, someone needs to inform Pedro Pascal that he is playing Mr. Fantastic. He thinks he is Mr. Fan. Yes. And he is slowly becoming as gay as Obama and Mike. That's right. One thing I've always learned is if you have a millionaire friend, you better grift off of them. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Grift the fuck off of them. But yes, I can guarantee you that no one tells me anything about my channel. But I will grift the fuck off of my famous friends easily. Like right now, you know. Well, I would grift Gary right now, but he's probably not available. I'd say, like, give me $100, I'll get Gary on the stream right now. So, but I can't do that tonight because he's probably I know they have the Dallas deal going on. 8 o'clock says, okay, Jeremy, I'm a Kansan who loves Florida. Stop calling me out. I hear you, brother. I would never leave the state of Florida. Never leave it. Brandon Day says, alcohol has destroyed my life. It's not worth it. And Andy says, CobraCast is for all the Mikis in the closet. Vault 95 says, Jeremy's chat is more diverse than Wakanda Forever. Gung-Ho Max says, CobraCast is too much diversity. I'm out. Mr. No One says, my chat is small, and that's okay. It is okay. Eric K says, you said nothing about we had to watch you too. Mickey for $1. Mickey for $1. Tyler B for $1. Darth Gavel says, justice for anime. Mickey says, making it rain. Tree Bear says, Jeremy prefers BBC over BVS. Confirmed. Sola Felix says, so Mickey is into dudes. Rumor is Mohap is single. Nandy says, Acolyte greater than Interstellar. Lesbians rule. August says, he can't breathe. Jupiter Knight says, BVS greater than Interstellar. Hail the 199. Chester Wolf the Griffin says, I have gotten nothing but love from MAGA, and it's nothing like the mainstream media tells us. 199, let's go. Let's go. River Miles for another $100. Says, Ripa and Jeremy are good dudes. Best no homo ever. Mountain biking 5 minutes from Boston. Figs are gay. 199. River Miles, how much have you had to drink? River, as long as you can afford it, okay? As long as you can afford it, brother. Thank you. Grab Potato says, spare me this mockery of justice. Eric K says, Daisy has an ass, but you still have to look at the face and the rest of her. No thanks. Still the body as flat as a board. Eric, Eric. That's a bad take, brother. Daisy is a pretty good looking chick. Eric.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I've always thought Daisy Ridley was pretty good looking. They didn't do a good job of taking full advantage of that. I mean, like, listen, here, okay? Look at this, okay? What do you remember about the original trilogy? What do you remember? You remember Princess Leia in terms of, women. You remember Princess Leia, right? Okay. Yeah, of course you do. What do you remember about the prequels? You remember that right there. Hot women sell, okay? Hot women sell. There you go. All you had to do was, like, here, hang on. Hang on. So, like, right here, okay? Well, I spelled it wrong. I'm about to give Disney $1 billion film, okay? Where's it at? I can't show that. Okay. $1 billion film right here, Disney, okay? You're welcome. Okay? $1 billion film right there. Okay? That's all you got to do. Make Rey look like that. $1 billion movie. Nobody's going to complain about female representation. Nobody's going to complain about that at all. Okay? That's it. Okay? And you know I'm right. Let's see here. You see the chat? The chat agrees. And that's just the truth of it right there. But Disney doesn't want to do that. Disney wants to put women in potato sacks like they did to Kelly Marie Tran. And this is why when Harvey Weinstein was in Hollywood, we got hot women, okay? And according to Mike, we also got something else. Veronid with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Veronid. Appreciate that. Miki says, Daisy Ridley suffers from what we call pancake ass. Guinea Pig with a fanny pack says, how much longer is this stream going to be? I need some alone time with my Sydney Sweeney top half, Daisy bottom half AI art. That's the thing, man. That whole when I quote tweeted that tweet, I knew that people were gonna be like, you guys are simping for AI or Photoshop or whatever. It's like, I know it's Photoshop. I know it's cleaned up a little bit, but it's still just too funny to pass up on. River Miles with 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, River Miles. You've lost your freaking mind tonight, River Miles. The hell is going on, man? River Miles is just a mad lad tonight. By the way, I don't share my disappointment a lot with you guys, but I'm pretty upset. I'm actually really upset about something. And I'm going to try not to get emotional while talking about it because I try not to get emotional on the internet. But as you know, I am the owner of Geeks and Gamers. I am the creator of geeksandgamers.com. And this post right here really upset me. The gaming community would be so much better if they were not involved. The Ultimate Edition. I'm not on here. I'm not on the list. I'm upset about this. I'm really I've really dropped the ball. I've got to have to step up the toxicity. I've got to step up the racism, the sexism, all of that, man. This is a devastating hit right here. So I just wanted you guys to know that I promise to be more obnoxious, more sarcastic, and far more toxic than ever before. So I will definitely do my best to make you all proud. And I am very, very sorry for doing just that, man. I promise to do so much worse than I've ever done before. Mainly, I need to start making videos again for Geeks and Gamers. That's what it comes down to. Gerald Armstrong says, who here is going to buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap? I mean, not me, but I'm not hating on anybody that does. It's not for me. Not for me at all. So, guest list for Tuesday night's main event. Yeah, I mean, the thing is and I've talked about this already, but like, I just don't, I don't like the whole guest rotation anymore. The more I get to know YouTubers, the less I want to know YouTubers. I'm not saying that they can't do their own thing and have their channels, but like, I like my little circle of people I have, my circle of friends or whatever. But like, yeah, the more I get to know YouTubers, the less I want to know them, because they always want to bring you into their bullshit, you know, where they want you to do this, you know, or whatever. So is he complaining again? I'm always complaining. That's my secret. I'm always complaining. Miki says Jeremy turned into Eminem. Yeah, I fell off big time, bro. I'm really sad about that. I am really sad about that, about not making that list. That was a big hit to my ego right there. And it made me realize I've got to do better. But I do want to play this clip that I meant to play earlier. So Bono appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience, and right here, this clip says Joe Rogan sets the record straight after Bono claimed 300,000 people have died because of Doge. Now, one thing I've never understood, and it's been like this for the past 20 or 30 years, I feel like, everywhere Bono goes, he gets treated like he's royalty, and I don't understand it. They talk to Bono like he actually has insight into the world, and he has all of this economic and political knowledge. It's very strange. I've never understood this fascination with Bono. I've really never gotten it. They treat him like he's like a king where he goes, and it's weird, man. So let's listen to this clip between Rogan and Bono, and we'll talk about it.
Just recent report. It's not proven, but the surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just this cut off, this hard cut of USAID. So there's food rotting in boats, in warehouses,
boats and hose.
There is this will fuck you off. This will not, you will not be happy. No American will. But there is, I think it's 50,000 tons of food that are stored in Djibouti, South Africa, Dubai, and wait for it, Houston, Texas.
How the fuck do you know this shit? You don't know anything, Bono. You don't know shit. You've been lied to by a bunch of people that kiss your ass for some weird reason. You don't know any fucking thing.
And that is rotting rather than going to Gaza, rather than going to Sudan, because the people...
Because nobody is starving in America. There's not one single American. We have to worry about Gaza and Sudan.
Who know the codes, or for the warehouse, are fired. They're gone. And so this, I don't know. What do you think? What What is that? That's not America, is it?
Well, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
Right. This is the problem. The problem is, for sure, there have been a lot of organizations that do tremendous good all throughout the world. Also, for sure, it was a money laundering operation.
Yes.
For sure, there was no oversight.
This is the whole nonsense about people trying to, like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm a good person because I'm doing this. Meanwhile, it's because they're trying to get you to turn your attention to this good thing that we're doing so that they can do all this corrupt shit behind the scenes. That's the whole point behind it. It's virtue signaling is what it is. That's where virtue signaling comes into play, where it's like, hey, I am for diversity and inclusion and representation. And then behind the scenes, you're doing all this fucked up shit. And they're hoping you'll never suspect them of doing this fucked up shit because they try to give this different persona of this other thing.
For sure, billions of dollars are missing. In fact, trillions that are unaccounted for, that were sent off into various... They don't even know where because there's no receipts. The way Elon Musk described it, he said if any of this was done by a public company, the company would be delisted.
Yes.
And the executives would be in prison. But in the United States, this is standard. When Biden left office, when it was clear that Trump won in the 73 days, they spent $93 billion from the Department of Energy on just radical loans, just throwing money into places.
Right.
And there's no oversight, no receipts. Like the whole thing is, there's a lot of fraud, a lot of money laundering.
Yeah, it's the same like nonsensical argument that you're constantly hearing about, like separating families. You're going to separate families. It's like, and Tom Homan made this argument a long time ago. It was like, so if we have a rapist in the United States and we arrest them, we're separating them from their family. That's what we're doing. The left loves to manipulate language in order to make things seem like there's something that they're not. Oh my God, look at all of these people that we're shutting off because of U.S. aid. No, we fired a bunch of fucking criminals, a bunch of people that were ripping us off. They were fired because they were using this as a money laundering opportunity and a scam. That's what it was. And we're supposed to pretend that, oh my God, they cut off all of this food for all of these starving people. It's like, fuck off. This is what the left always does. They always manipulate language to make it seem like it's something else because it's all about the victimization. They always have to find some kind of victimization within everything. And Rogan had a great answer right there. I don't know what the rest of the conversation was, but that particular answer was perfect. Jeez, man. It's crazy. Why no charges, though? Here's the thing about charges. And listen, I'm just as frustrated as everybody else, okay? But this is what I think Trump knows. And I'm speculating on this. Trump has made this comment many times when he talked about, when he made the comments about arresting Hillary Clinton, when he made the comments, like, oh, so you'd be in jail, all of that. When Trump said that, he obviously means, in theory, but he said, like, the reason, why didn't you go after Hillary Clinton, after now they've gone after you? And he's like, what would it do to the country if I went after a former first lady, the wife of a former president of the United States of America? What would that do to the country? He does think about the ramifications of the actions that he takes and the things that he does. And it's just like today when he was asked about Jill Biden. Do you think that truly that Donald Trump believes that Jill Biden is responsible and should be investigated? Absolutely, he thinks that. But he has a wife, and he's in his 80s, or he's about to be in his 80s. Donald Trump has a wife. They've already raided this man's house. He's only one human being. So Donald Trump answered that question as a husband and as a father. His kids will still be here when he's gone. If Donald Trump goes scorched earth and arrests everybody, guess what's going to happen in 4 years when they get back in power, or 8 years, or whatever? It's just a constant cycle of shit, dude. he's trying to build a stronger foundation. This is my speculation, by the way, based on the words that he has said. Based on the words that he has said, this is my speculation as to why he doesn't go full scorched earth from that perspective, because it realistically makes no sense. Given the system that we have, it realistically makes no sense. We are a midterm away right now from losing everything. We are not in a position to do that right now. We're just not. That's the reality of the situation. We are not in a position to do anything right now because we are very close on these when this midterm rolls around. If the Democrats can win, it destroys everything Trump is building right now. He's not in a position to do this yet. And that's the hard truth of the matter. He's just not in a position to do it. Get the midterms taken care of, then there might be a real discussion for some of that. But based on the answers he's had in reference to these things, I believe that is kind of his mindset into this, is like, I can't do anything right now. Like there's bigger things in motion that we've got to build the foundation. And it's going to take a long time to build this foundation. And maybe that foundation doesn't get completely built until we see who wins in 2028. And Marco Rubio is kind of proven like this dude's guns a-blazing right now, man. I'm not saying that Rubio's going to be president. I still don't like that idea. But Rubio and Vance are a damn good team. And, you got Pete Hegseth involved. You got Tom Homan. You got some strong players. And I see Vance potentially being the leader of those guys. But Trump is still building a solid foundation. This is a builder. Donald Trump builds buildings, builds extremely tall buildings. What is the whole point of building a tall building? You have to have a strong foundation. It takes a while to build a strong foundation. It doesn't happen overnight. That's just a theory of mine. I have nothing I'm not saying that I know anything, because I obviously don't. I'm just a fucking retard on the internet. But that would be my theory behind it. Midterms, they could lose everything. They tried to kill this man multiple times. They raided his home. They locked up his business partners. They've locked up people that was in his administration. These are evil motherfuckers. Trump knows that. Trump knows they're evil. He knows they're evil better than anybody. But he also understands that when you're fighting evil, you've got to play the long game and you got to be smart about it. So there you go. Big T Bo says, hail the chat and hail that booty. Hail. Your Barmy says, Bono got crushed by a car while riding a bike in Central Park. Dressed as a what? What type of Jew is that? Bono, I might can name like two U2 songs. Maybe. I've never been a fan of U2. I just don't like them. Solo Felix's South Park turd episode accurately portrayed Bono. Mola Ram says we can send money overseas after we take care of our homeless vets. River Miles says Bono is not American. America Squad 199. Sane Millennial for 20 says Bono actually, Bono's actually more responsible for starving kids in Africa when you look into the corrupt food nonprofits he supports, which screw with local economies there. There's a good documentary on it. He's a joke, makes me angry. Hail to you, Sane Millennial. Let's see. River Miles says, fuck Hillary. Look at there. Fuck Hillary. On that note, thank you, River Miles. Mo Zamboni says all the best Irishmen left for the U.S. 160 years ago. What's up, Mo Zamboni? Speaking of all of that, so I have been, I told you guys I kind of went down a rabbit hole of like just watching some of these clips from the debates, and it's just so good, man. Like the stuff that when Trump got involved in politics, it's like nothing. We've never seen anything like it, man. And just like right here, like this, right? These are just little clips, but man, like this shit was gold, bro. Look at this.
Republican candidates for president are at their podiums. They are ready.
Is that too loud?
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. In Wisconsin, you're losing $2.2 billion. And when the people of Iowa found that out, I went to number one, and you went down the tubes. I promise, if I wanted it, I would have got it.
But for anybody on this stage,
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the
I didn't
simple
want
fact
to.
is-
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I
The
didn't
simple
want to.
fact is,
Jeff,
Donald, you cannot take-
more energy tonight. I like that. Wrong.
Simple
Don't make
fact
things
is-
up, Jeff. Don't
cut me off,
Come
sir.
on. Don't make things up. I will get along, I think, with Putin, and we will have a much more stable world. He just doesn't have courage. There's something missing from our president. It's a terrible statement. I think it's going to haunt him absolutely. I was watching, and he said the statement, and I said, wow, I can't believe it. I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman. I hear your wife is a lovely woman.
She is.
I
She's
don't
fantastic.
know her, and this
She
is
is
a total
absolutely the love of my life, and
mischaracterization of what
she's
I
right
said.
here, and why don't
Good.
you apologize
Good.
for her
No, I won't
right
do that
now.
because I said nothing wrong. I only say this. She can't run any of my companies. I am not sitting in the United States Senate with, by the way, the worst voting record there is today. Your brother and your brother's administration gave us Barack Obama because it was such a disaster those last 3 months that Abraham Lincoln couldn't have been elected.
Dude, it's so good. When he was on stage with everybody, dude, it was crazy. It was like they were all going after him. They were all targeting him. It was the best thing ever. Let me see if I can find. There was one more. Yeah, like and he was. You had like all of these crooked politicians that were doing everything they could to basically get a reaction out of him. And oh my God, all of these clips are not the ones I'm looking for right now. But you would see it when these debates were going on. Every single topic always went back to Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Like this right here. Ted Cruz.
You'll have a chance. Maria will pick up the
He called me a liar. You're saying I can't respond to being called a liar?
Go ahead and respond.
You know, what we're seeing with Donald, there's a reason Harry Reid thinks he's the best Republican up here. There's a reason Jimmy Carter said he would support Donald Trump over me, because he said Donald Trump is malleable. He has no fixed set of beliefs, whereas Ted Cruz is not malleable. And every time anyone points at Donald's actual record, what he said on national television, Donald yells liar. Let me tell you something. Falsely accusing someone of lying is
ahead, Mr.
itself a
Trump.
lie, and it's something Donald does daily.
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
I watched the lobbyists. I watched what this man did to Dr. Ben Carson, who I respect, in Iowa, where he said that Ben Carson is out of the race. He has left Iowa, and he's out of the race. And I thought it was disgraceful. And got a lot of votes because of that. A lot of votes took him away from Ben Carson. I watched that. Probably took him away from me, too. But I watched it. I also watched where he did a form that looked like it came right out of a government agency. And it said on top, voter violation. And then it graded you, and it scared the hell out of people. And it said the only way you clear up the violation, essentially, is to go and vote for Ted Cruz. I watched that fraudulent document, and I said it's the worst thing I've ever seen in politics. To me, that was even worse than what he did to Ben.
Senator Cruz.
I know
Donald,
politicians, believe it or not, better than you do, and it's not good.
Oh, I believe it. No, I believe you know politicians much better than I do, because for 40 years you've been funding liberal Democratic politicians. And by the way,
I funded you.
The
I
reason
funded him.
You're welcome to have the check back.
I funded this guy.
Because let's
I gave
be clear.
him a check.
Yeah, you gave me
him a check.
$5,000.
You never funded me.
And by the way, let's be clear. Donald claims to care
You know why? I didn't
about
want to, but he sent me his book with his autograph.
Donald, I understand rules
Mr.
are very
Trump,
hard
you're
for you.
doing
They're
a great
very
job.
confusing.
I have his book.
Okay,
Yeah, on your reality
Trump,
TV
you're doing
show,
a great
not
job.
in
Thank you for the book.
Donald.
Thank you for the book. Go ahead.
Donald, you can get back on
There's
your
a
meds
lot of
now.
fun up here tonight, I have to tell you.
After he screams at Rubio He looks back at Ted Cruz and says, "Go ahead."
Very
Trump,
hard
you're
for you.
doing
They're
a great
very
job.
confusing.
I have his book.
Okay,
yeah, on your
that-
reality
Trump,
TV
you're
show,
doing a
not
great
in.
job.
Thank you for the book.
Donald,
thank you for the book. Go ahead.
Donald, you can get back on
We
your
got a lot
meds
of fun
now.
up here tonight, I have to tell you. Thank you for the book. I really appreciate it.
Donald, relax.
Go ahead. I'm relaxed. You're the basket case. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't get nervous. Go ahead.
I promise you, Donald, there's nothing about you that makes anyone nervous.
You're losing
people
so
are actually
badly.
watching this at
You
home.
don't know what's happening.
Gentlemen.
Wolf, I'm going to ask that my
We gotta
time not be
stop
deducted
this.
when
Time
he's
is up,
yelling
Wolf.
at me.
Take
Gentlemen.
control.
Okay, now.
The latest debate,
well, hold
gentlemen,
on. I'm going
please.
to get my answer. He doesn't get to
I
yell
want
in
to
the whole
move.
time.
I want to move on. These are the rules.
Excuse me. He called me a liar and then interrupted the whole time.
You've
Am I
had a
allowed
chance.
to? Wolf, do I not get a response?
You have-
Do I not get a response?
That's it right there. God. Holy shit, man. Oh, I got tears in my eyes. Now, this is one of my favorite ones ever right here. Okay. And the comment section, we're going to read the comment section when this is over.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway, as far as temperament, and we all know that, as far as temperament, I think I have a great temperament. I built a phenomenal business with incredible, iconic assets. One of the really, truly great real estate businesses. And I may be an entertainer because I've had tremendous success with #1 bestsellers all over the place, with The Apprentice and everything else I've done. But I will tell you this, what I am far and away greater than an entertainer is a businessman. And that's the kind of mindset this country needs to bring it back. Because we owe $19 trillion right now, $19 trillion. And you need this kind of thinking to bring our country back. And believe me, my temperament is very good, very calm, but we will be respected outside of this country. We are not respected now.
Mr. Senator Paul, your name has been invoked.
I kind of have to laugh when I think, sounds like a non sequitur. He was asked whether or not he would be capable and it would be in good hands to be in charge of the nuclear weapons, and all of a sudden there's a sideways attack.
You will see Trump's body language. You will see him go from "I'm listening" to "I'm about to crush you." Like, you'll see his body language in real time change. Right now he's listening. And then Rand Paul says something, and you see the shift in Trump's body language, and he's setting up. He's like, "I'm about to annihilate you."
At me. I think that really goes to the judgment. Do we want someone with that kind of character, that kind of careless language to be negotiating with Putin? Do we want someone like that to be negotiating with Iran? I think really there's a sophomoric quality that is entertaining about Mr. Trump. But I am worried. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the nuclear weapons, because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
One of the greatest lines I've ever heard. One of the greatest lines I've ever heard. Now, if you go to the comments, this is on CNN's YouTube channel. All right. Gets called out for insulting people, responds with an insult. Like, this comment section looks like a CobraCast comment section. It's crazy. It's crazy how all these guys Trump mocked during the campaign now all suck up to him. I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. It's so good. LOL. Trump logic. I never attacked him on his look. Thanks for reminding me to attack you on your look. Oh, man. So good. Here's Trump and Bush square off.
For your donors.
Hang on.
Trump is a front runner, Republican voters say, is because they like the fact that he is not bought and paid for by wealthy donors. Mr. Trump has repeatedly said that the $100 million you've raised for your campaign makes you a puppet for your donors. Are you?
No, absolutely not. People are supporting me because I have a proven record of conservative leadership, where I cut taxes $19 billion over 8 years. We shrunk the state government workforce. We created a climate that led the nation in job growth 7 out of 8 years. We were one of 2 states to go to AAA bond rating. People know that we need principle-centered leadership, a disruptor to go to Washington, D.C. The one guy that had some special interest that I know of that tried to get me to change my views on something that was generous and gave me money was Donald Trump. He wanted casino gambling in Florida.
I didn't want
Yes, you did.
Totally false.
You wanted it, and you didn't get it because I was
it.
opposed to casino gambling
I
before,
promise I would've
during,
gotten it.
and after. And that's not, I'm not going to be bought by anybody.
I promise, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it.
No way, man.
Believe me.
Nope.
I know my people.
Not even possible.
I know my people.
Is there anything else you want to say about this?
No, I just will tell you that, Jeb made the statement. I'm not only referring to him. A lot of money was raised by a lot of different people that are standing up here. And the donors, the special interests, the lobbyists have very strong power over these people. I'm spending all of my money. I'm not getting any. I turned down so much. I could have right now from special interests and donors, I could have double and triple what he's got. I've turned it down. I've turned down last week $5 million from somebody. So I will tell you, I understand the game. I've been on the other side all of my life, and they have a lot of control over our politicians. And I don't say that favorably, and I'm not sure if there's another system, but I say this, I am not accepting any money from anybody. Nobody has control of me other than the people of this country. I'm going to do the right thing.
You got, according to to what you said on one of the talk shows, you got Hillary Clinton to go to your wedding because
true.
you gave her money.
True.
Maybe it works for Hillary Clinton. It doesn't work
Jeff,
for anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is,
excuse me, 1 second.
No,
I didn't want to.
Donald, you cannot take
more energy tonight. I like that. Look,
I was asked the question.
I didn't want. It was my obligation as a businessman to my family, to my company, to my employees, to get along with all politicians. I got along with all of them, and I did a damn good job in doing it. Go ahead.
So, he supports Pelosi.
He gives him permission to go ahead. It's like he's the fucking moderator.
Company, to my employees, to get along with all politicians. I got along with all of them, and I did a damn good job in doing it. Go ahead.
So, he supports Pelosi. He supports Schumer. He supports Clinton.
Got along with everybody.
And when he asked Florida to have casino gambling, we said no.
Wrong.
We said no, and that's the simple fact. The simple
don't
fact
make things
is,
up, Jeb. Don't
cut me off.
Come
sir.
on, don't make things up.
Oh man, so good. What a time that was, man. What a time. This is a South Carolina one. This one, I remember there was some stuff about so this, to me, if I'm not mistaken, this is the moment where I realized, I hope I'm not wrong about this, but this might be the debate where I realized, like, Donald Trump's about to win this thing. And so up to this point, I wasn't sure. I'm like, what is Trump doing? Like, is he getting another TV show? Does he have another business? Is this for real? Like, I didn't know if he was for real. And when he came to South Carolina, and this is right around the time where George W. Bush started to, this is the first time that George W. Bush had come out to the campaign trail to campaign for Jeb, because Jeb was struggling. So George W. Bush started, coming into South Carolina and campaigning for Jeb. And at that time, with Republicans in South Carolina, I think George W. Bush had like a 97% approval rating with Republicans in South Carolina. And I remember Trump stood on the stage and he straight up said that George W. Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and he got booed out of the building and he didn't care. And when that happened, I'm like, this dude ain't playing, man. Like, he is doing things that no other politician would have ever thought about doing. No politician would stand on a stage in South Carolina where George W. Bush has a 97% approval rating and call him a war criminal. But he did it. I think this is the one.
And sick and tired of him going after my family. My dad is the greatest man alive in my mind. And while Donald Trump was building a reality TV show, my brother was building a security apparatus to keep us safe. And I'm proud of what he did. And he's had the gall to go after my mother.
World Trade Center came down
during the gall to go after my mother.
Hold on.
Let me finish. He's had
gall to go after my mother.
That's not keeping
Look, I
us
won
safe.
the lottery when I was born 63 years ago and looked up and I saw my mom. My mom is the strongest woman I know.
Oh,
She should be
God.
running. Not a
He said she should be
The
running.
attacks at last night's GOP debate got personal, ugly, nasty. Some described it as a no-rules cage match, and the stakes could not be higher. The first in the South primary is
all we
now
got?
less than a week
Let's see.
away. Everybody calling Ted Cruz a liar. Take a listen to this clip. Get your thoughts.
You are
Principle,
the
and I'll
single
tell you-
biggest liar. You probably are worse than Jeb Bush.
Donald didn't disagree with the substance that he supports taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. And Donald has this weird pattern. When you point to his own record, he screams, liar, liar, liar.
At some point, when you have somebody in a debate who could possibly
All right,
be
we
a
don't
VP
care about your
candidate, someone like Ted
commentary.
Cruz saying liar, liar, liar.
Well, remember, the Palmetto State is 21% military veterans. They may actually
All
remember
right,
that.
well,
and it
we're not.
could
There's not a lot of highlight clips there. I thought there was going to be more right there, but what a time that was, man. I'd like to find like a good kind of let's see, what is this one? No, that was not it. Bush, Trump.
Jeb is so wrong. Jeb is so wrong. Jeb is absolutely so. That's just so you understand. You know what that is? That's Jeb's special interest and lobbyists talking. Look, let me just tell you something. Jeb is so wrong. You got to fight ISIS first. You fight ISIS first. Right now, you have Russia, you have Iran, you have them with Assad, and you have them with Syria. You have to knock out ISIS. They're chopping off heads. These are animals. You have to knock them out. You have to knock them off strong. You decide what to do after. You can't fight two wars at one time. If you listen to him and you listen to some of the folks that I've been listening to, that's why we've been in the Middle East for 15 years, and we haven't won anything. We've spent $5 trillion in the Middle East because of thinking like that. We've spent and Lindsey Graham, who backs him, who had 0 on his polls. So let me just tell you something. We've spent.
That's about the time he gave out Lindsey Graham's phone number, if you remember that. So Lindsey Graham said something about Trump. So Trump at one of his rallies gave out Lindsey Graham's phone number. That was classic right there.
We've spent. I only tell the truth, lobbyists. We've spent $5 trillion all over the middle. We have to rebuild our country. We have to rebuild our infrastructure. You listen to that, you're going to be there for another 15 years.
All right, Governor Bush, please respond.
Good times, man. Good times. That was the best. It really was. That whole run was, let's see, what is this one? Let's see.
Debate as
This
the
is the
10
first
leading
one.
candidates
This is the
face
first one.
Win the Republican nomination.
You can't say tonight that you can make that pledge.
I cannot say I.
And the sparring began.
He's already hedging his bet on the Clintons, okay? So if he doesn't run as a Republican, maybe he supports Clinton, or maybe runs as an independent.
Trump had to defend previous support for Democrats, abortion rights, and a European-style single-payer health care system.
I've evolved on many issues over the years, and you know who else has is Ronald Reagan evolved on many issues.
Newsflash, the Republican Party's been fighting against a single-payer system for a decade.
I don't think you heard me. You're having a hard time tonight.
All right. Trump remained resolute on the need to secure the southern border.
If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be talking about illegal immigration, Chris. You wouldn't even be talking about it. We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Donald Trump's hitting a nerve in this country. And for people that want to just tune him out, they're making a mistake.
It was likely many tuned in just to see Trump, and the unprecedented 10-candidate Fox News debate stage attracted 5,000 strong to the Quicken Loans Arena.
That's a completely ridiculous answer.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul clashed over bulk collection of telephone metadata to fight terrorism.
How are you supposed to? No, I'll tell you how you...
Here we go.
your Twitter account, Kelly, when she questioned him on some of the words that he used to describe women that he did not like very much on Twitter and beyond. Let's play that first, and then I'll get your reaction.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account.
Even when Megan didn't like him, even she was like trying not to laugh. You see that smirk on her face? Look.
Your Twitter account.
She wanted to laugh.
Thank you.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president? And how will you answer the charge from Hillary Clinton, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee, that you are part of the war on women?
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
So I'll first go to Nancy.
Answer.
What did you make of that response? And
I
what
want to
did you
hear
make
this.
of
I
him
want to
sort
hear
of going
this.
toe-to-toe with Megyn Kelly? She's very popular on Fox, and even people who don't like Fox know who she is.
Well,
you know?
and one of the things he likes to do when he gets put on the spot for his own words is to say that he's being taken out of context, and he didn't say it that way, and he didn't mean it that way. But this is exactly what he said. He's not being taken out of context, and you could tell that even after the debate.
I love it. I love it. It's so great, man. This was such a wild time. All right, that's all the Trump stuff there. It's great looking back on this, and just I really wish I had a YouTube channel back when this was going on. I would have been live streaming all of these back then. There was one more. Which one is this?
No, I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
Well, in fact, some of the people he
by the way,
hired. Well, but hold on.
I've hired.
And
by the way, I've hired tens of thousands of people over my job. You've hired.
You've hired
nobody.
1,000 people.
You've
from
had
another
nothing
company,
but problems
from another
with your
country.
credit cards, etc.
Let me
So
say.
don't
Let
tell
me
me
say.
about
Well,
that.
let me finish the
Senator,
statement.
hold
This is
on.
important.
You haven't hired one
He
person
hired
in your life.
workers from Poland, and he had to pay $1 million or so in a judgment.
wrong.
For hiring.
That's
It is,
wrong.
That's a
It's
fact.
totally wrong.
Well, people can look it up. I'm sure people are Googling it right now.
I've
Look it up.
hired tens of-
Trump
Excuse
Polish
me.
workers. You'll see $1 million for hiring
Excuse me.
illegal workers on one of his projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I remember this. I've talked about this before on stream, but this night there was this woman in the crowd that was so pro Rubio, and Rubio felt like he was actually getting some real hits in on Trump. And this woman she just would scream to the top of her lungs, and it was like infuriating to listen to.
You know, it's interesting.
That happened.
I've hired tens of thousands of people over my lifetime. Tens of
Many
thousands.
from other
Be
countries
quiet,
instead of hiring
just
Americans.
Be quiet. Let me talk. I've hired tens of thousands of people. He brings up something from 30 years ago. It worked out very well. Everybody was
Yeah, you paid
happy.
$1 million.
And by the way, the laws were totally different.
right.
That was a whole different world.
Thank you.
Right. But I've hired people. Nobody up here has hired
Senator
anybody.
Cruz.
And by the way, Marco is exactly right that a federal court found Donald guilty of being part of a conspiracy to hire people illegally and entered a $1 million judgment against them.
I got along with everybody. You get along with nobody. You don't have one Republican. You don't have one Republican senator, and you work with them every day of your life, although you skipped a lot of time. These are minor details. But you don't have one Republican senator backing you, not one. You don't have the endorsement of one Republican senator, and you work with these people.
Senator Cruz.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Here's a man, Robin Hood. This is Robin Hood over here. He talks about corruption on his financial disclosure form. He didn't even put that he's borrowed money from Citibank and from Goldman Sachs, which is a total violation. He didn't talk about the fact that he pays almost no interest. He just left it off, and now he's going to protect the people from the big bad banks.
We're going to
Give
move
me a
on.
break. Now, the wall is $10 billion to $12 billion if I do it. If these guys do it, it'll end up costing $200 billion. But the wall is 10 to 12 billion. You need 1,000 miles. The Great Wall of China, built 2,000 years ago, 2,000 is 13,000 miles. We need 1,000 because we have a lot of natural barriers. We can do it for 10 to 12, and it's a real wall. This is a wall that's a heck of a lot higher than the ceiling you're looking at.
If the Mexicans don't pay for the wall, will you start a trade war with Mexico?
Well, you know, I don't mind trade wars when we're losing.
Boy, that rings true right now. I don't mind trade wars.
$58 billion a year. You want to know the truth. We're losing so much. We're losing so much with Mexico and China. With China, we're losing $500 billion a year. And then people say, oh, don't we want to trade? I don't mind trading, but I don't want to lose $500 billion.
If he builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers, he'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it. The second...
So cute. Such a cute soundbite.
But no, it's not a soundbite. It's a fact.
Yeah,
Again, go online and Google it. Donald Trump, Polish workers. You'll see it. The second thing about the trade war, I don't understand, because your ties and the clothes you make is made in Mexico and in China. So you're going to be starting a trade war against your own ties and your own suits. All right.
You know what? Because
why don't you
they
make them in
devalue
America?
their currencies.
No.
They devalue their currencies.
Well, then make them in
that
America.
Makes it well, you don't know anything about business. You lose
Well,
on
make them in
everything you do.
America.
You don't know anything about it because you're a lousy
Well, I don't know
businessman.
anything about bankrupting four companies.
No,
You bankrupted
I know,
four
you know what?
companies.
You know what?
I don't know anything about.
You know what?
Starting
He's
a
annoying.
university.
One at a
That was a
time.
fake university.
First of all,
a fake university.
That's called.
There are people that borrow $36,000 to go to
Mr.
Trump University, and they're suing him now. $36,000
And
to
by
go
the
to
way,
a university.
and by the way-
that's a fake school.
And by the way,
and you know what they got? They got to take a
I've won
picture with
most
a
of the
cardboard
lawsuit.
cutout of Donald Trump.
And by the way,
that's what they
I've
got
won
for the
most of the
$36,000.
I want to move
and
on.
they actually did a very good job. But
Mr.
I've
Trump.
won most of the lawsuit.
Yeah, that's savvy. That's savvy screaming in the audience. Yeah.
Senator, I
For
want to
most
bring
of the
in,
lawsuit.
I want to bring in my colleague Maria
Excuse
Celeste.
me, hey, Wolf, let me ask you, am I allowed to respond to this
You're
guy?
allowed. You've been
Okay,
responding.
well, no, I haven't. I really haven't.
He's talked through the whole
I
thing.
haven't. Here's the guy. Here's the guy.
Trump is so great, dude. Like, never gonna be a more entertaining person than him, dude. It's just not. It's not possible. Unicycle Peon for 50 on Rumble says random shout out, often lurking, always appreciate the streams, entertaining even when stuff is crazy. Thank you so much. And then NBSD for 50 on Rumble. Holy crap, Rumble's rolling now. It says nothing. It says nothing. Just a ... Thank you, NBSD. Appreciate you, brother.
That buys out to respond to this
You're
guy?
allowed. You've been responding.
Okay, well, no, I haven't. I really haven't.
He's talked through the whole thing.
Here's the guy. Here's the guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy. This is what we're going to have.
Here's the
as
guy that
president.
inherited $200 million. If he hadn't inherited $200 million, you know where Donald Trump would be right now? Selling watches in Manhattan.
That is so wrong. We'll work on that. I took $1 million and I turned it into $10 billion. I borrowed $1
Then
million.
release the tax return so he can see how much money he makes.
I borrowed $1 million. I turned it
doesn't
into
make that much
$10
money.
billion, more than $10 billion.
As soon as I step foot into the Oval Office.
I have to say, he lied this time. He lied. 100%. 100%.
You lied about the Polish workers.
Yeah.
You lied to the
38
students at Trump
years ago.
University.
38 years ago.
Oh, he lied 38 years ago. All right, I guess there's a statute of limitation on lies.
First of all, I don't believe anything Telemundo says.
You used to say that. You love.
Number one.
The Second Amendment from
When
the
you
Bill of
say
Rights.
crazy zealot, are you talking about you, crazy zealot? Give me a break.
What you're saying is getting rid of the barriers between states, that is going to solve the problem.
That's going to solve a lot of the problem. And the insurance companies are going to say that. They want to keep it. They say whatever they have to say to keep it the way it is. I know the insurance companies. They're friends of mine. The top guys, they're friends of mine. I shouldn't tell you guys. You'll say it's terrible. I have a conflict of interest. They're friends of mine. There's some right in the audience. One of them was just waving to me. He was laughing and smiling. He's not laughing so much anymore. Hi. But you know what? The insurance companies are making an absolute fortune. Yes, they will keep pre-existing conditions, and that would be a great thing. Get rid of Obamacare. We'll come up with new plans, but we should keep pre-existing conditions.
Here's what you didn't hear in that answer, and this is important, guys. This is an important thing. What is your plan? I understand the lines around the state, whatever that means. This is not a game where you draw maps
And you
around.
don't know what it
What
means.
is your plan?
That's the problem.
What is
don't
your
know.
plan on health care? You
The
don't have
biggest
a
problem.
plan.
The biggest
what
problem
is,
he
I'll
doesn't
give
know.
him 1 minute
The
of my
biggest
time to tell me
problem
his
he's
plan.
got is he
What's his
doesn't know.
plan?
You know, I watched him melt down 2 weeks ago with Chris Christie. I got to tell you, the biggest problem he's got is he really doesn't know about the lines. The biggest thing we've got, and the reason we have no competition, is because we have lines around the state, and you have essentially
we already mentioned that as part of my plan. I know what that is. But what else is part of your plan? So your only thing is to get rid of the lines around the states. What else is part of your health care plan?
The lines around the states mean.
That's your only
and it was
plan.
almost done. No. You know
All
what
right,
that does?
I'll
That
give him
brings
time
in.
of mind. He can
Excuse
tell
me.
us his plan.
Excuse me.
Excuse
That brings
me.
in competition. When you get rid of the lines, it brings in competition. So instead of having one insurance company taking care of New York or Texas, you'll have many. They'll compete, and it'll be a beautiful thing.
Right. And so that's the only part of the plan? Just the lines, the interstate competition?
No, the nice part about the plan, you'll have many different plans. You'll have competition. You'll have so many different plans.
But now he's repeating himself.
No, I'm not repeating. No.
I have never forget, like, this was one of my lasting memories of Rubio, because I've never seen someone so proud of themselves. Like, it's the optics here were young child, you know, is winning a video game against his dad because the dad has the controller unplugged, and the young child is just so joyful and happy. That's how it always came off. You know what I mean? Like, Rubio was just so happy because he had a few Trump haters in the chat, in the audience, that were just screeching every time he would say something, and he looked so proud of himself. And I'm like, ugh. And now, of course, we know Rubio's been great. Logan Miller with 5 gift memberships. Thank you, Logan Miller. 5 gifties. Appreciate that. Brandon Day for 50 says, just a lurker. Hail Trump. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for the support. And we appreciate the lurkers as well. Always hail to the lurkers.
I don't repeat myself.
You don't repeat yourself.
Here's the guy who repeats himself.
You repeat yourself every day.
I watched him, talking about repeating, I watched him repeat himself 5 times 4 weeks ago. And
I saw
want to
you
tell
repeat yourself 5
it
times
was a
5
meltdown.
seconds ago.
I watched him melt down on the stage like I've never seen anybody. I thought he came out of the swimming pool.
I said, well,
Let's talk
I see him
about
repeat
your
himself
plan.
every night. It says 5 things. Everyone's dumb.
Senator
He's going to
Rubio.
make America great
Senator
again. We're going to
Rubio.
win.
Senator
He's
Rubio,
winning in the
please.
polls.
Please
And the
stop.
lines around the state. Every night. Same thing.
Senator Rubio.
I tell the truth.
Senator Rubio, you will have time to respond if you
All right.
just let
The moderators have no control. They have no control.
Mr. Trump respond to what
Yeah,
you
he's
just
gonna give us
posed
his
to
plan
him.
now, right? Okay.
If you could talk a little bit more about your plan. I know you talked about
No,
the
we're going to
interstate.
have many different plans
Can you
because there's
give
going to
us
be
specific?
competition.
Said it again.
There's going to be competition. There is going to be competition among all of the states and the insurance companies. They're going to have many, many different plans.
Is there anything else you would like to add to that? as part of
No,
your
there's
plan?
nothing to add. What's to add? What is to add?
Donald, true or false, you've said the government should pay for everyone's health care.
That's false.
You've never
That's
said
false.
that.
No, I never. I said it worked in a couple of countries,
But
I
you've,
never
you've
said
never
it.
stood on this debate stage and says it works
No,
great
I
in
did
Canada
not.
and Scotland, and we
No,
should do
I
it
did
here.
not.
Did you
No, I
say
did not.
if you want people to die on the streets, if you don't support socialized health care, you have no
Correct.
heart?
I will
Did you
not
say
let
you're a
people
liberal
die
on
on the
health
streets
care?
if I'm president.
Have
If
you
people-
said you're a liberal on health
Excuse me,
care?
let me talk.
Talk away.
If people-
Explain your plan, please.
My plan is very simple. I will not, we're going to have private health care. But I will not allow people to die on the sidewalks and the streets of our country if I'm president. You may let it, and you may be fine
So
with
does
it.
the government pay
I'm
for
not
everyone's
fine
health
with
care?
it. We are going to take
Yes
those
or no?
people and
Just
they're going
answer
to
the question.
Excuse me. We are going to take those people, and those people are
Excuse
going
me.
to be serviced by doctors and hospitals. We're going to make great deals on it, but we're not going to let them die in the streets.
These people die in the
This
streets
is a
if the
critical
government doesn't
answer. He
support
should
health
answer.
care.
The government would
Gentlemen,
all
of you
He's
have
refusing to answer that
Call
question.
it what you want. You know what? Call it what you want.
It's a yes or
People-
no.
Call it what you want. People are not going to be dying
All
on
of
the
you have
sidewalks of the
agreed.
street.
All of you. If you eliminate completely the Department of Education as you have proposed, that's about $68 billion. If you eliminate the Environmental Protection Agency, that's about $8 billion. That's about $76 billion for those two agencies. The current deficit this year is $544 billion. Where are you going to come up with the money?
Fraud, and abuse all over the place. Waste, fraud, and abuse. You look at what's happening with Social Security. You look at what's happening with every agency. Waste, fraud, and abuse. We will cut so much, your head will spin.
Mr. Trump,
First of all,
Mr.
he's
Trump.
talking about the polls. I'm beating him awfully badly in the polls.
But you're not beating Hillary.
So
But you're
don't
not
know.
beating
I don't-
Hillary.
Well, then if I can't, if I can't beat her, you're really going to get killed, aren't you?
Dude, it's just absolute savage, man. Just absolute savage.
Security. You look at what's happening with every agency. Waste, fraud, and abuse. We will cut so much, your head will spin.
Mr. Trump,
First of all,
Mr.
he's
Trump.
talking about the polls. I'm beating him awfully badly in the polls.
But
every
you're not
single
beating
one of them.
Hillary.
So
But
I don't
you're not
know.
beating
I don't-
Hillary.
Well, then if I can't beat her, you're really going to get killed, aren't you? In all fairness, Marco is not a negotiator. I watched him melt down, and I'll tell you, it was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. He's not going down.
He thinks the
Excuse me, wait
Palestinian is a
minute, wait
real
minute.
estate deal.
And these people may even be tougher than Chris Christie, okay?
The Palestinians
They may
are not
even
a
be
real
tougher.
estate deal, Donald.
Okay, no.
Trump has brought Marco Rubio a long fucking way, bro. Marco Rubio, to his credit, has learned a lot. And yeah, he's doing a great job right now. It's crazy to watch this, but yeah, Rubio's doing phenomenal right now in the Trump administration.
No. A deal.
They're not a real estate
deal
deal.
is a deal. Let me tell you,
A
I've
deal
learned
is
a
not
long
a deal
time
when you're
ago.
dealing with terrorists. Have you
You
ever
are not a
negotiated with terrorists?
negotiator. You are not a negotiator. And with your thinking, you will never bring peace. You will never bring peace.
Donald might be able to build
I want to be
condos in the
able-
Palestinian
Excuse
areas,
me.
but he's not going to. This is
Excuse
not a
me,
real
I
estate
want to
deal.
be able to bring peace. He will never be able to do it. I think I may be able to do it, although I will say this, probably the toughest deal of any kind is that particular deal. My response is very simple. There is nobody on this stage that has done more for Israel than I have. Nobody. You might say, you might talk, your politicians all talk, no action. I've been watching it all my life. You are all talk and no
Name one
action. What
specific
I've
thing you've
seen
done.
up here, I mean, first of all, this guy's a choke artist and this guy's a liar. You have a combination.
This guy always goes.
You have a combination of factors. He
This is
can't
so
do it for the
typical.
obvious reason, and he
But
can't do
here's
it
the
because
typical
he
thing he
doesn't know
does.
how to tell the truth. Other than that, I rest my case.
This is the typical thing he does.
You've been funding liberal Democratic politicians, and by the way,
I funded
the,
you.
The
I
reason
funded him.
You're welcome to have the check
I
back.
funded this guy.
Because let's
I
be
gave him
clear.
a check.
Yeah,
I
you
gave
gave me
him a check.
$5,000.
You never funded me.
And by the way, let's be clear. Donald claims to care
You know why? I didn't
about
want to, but he sent me his
Donald,
book with his autograph.
Donald, I understand rules
Mr.
are very
Trump,
hard
you're
for you.
doing
They're
a
very
great job.
confusing.
I have his book.
Okay,
Yeah, on your reality
Trump, you're
TV
doing a
show,
great
not
job.
in
Thank you,
Donald.
thank you for the book.
Donald.
Thank you for the book. Go ahead.
Donald, you can get back on
There's
your
a lot
meds
of fun
now.
up here tonight, I have to tell you. Thank you for the book. I really appreciate it.
Donald, relax.
Go ahead. I'm relaxed. You're the
sent him a
basket
book.
case. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't get nervous. Go ahead.
My
I
name
promise
is,
you,
my
Donald,
name is
there's
Mitch.
nothing about
I've
you
seen
that,
you.
that makes anyone nervous.
You're
You know,
losing
people
so
are actually
badly.
watching
I
this.
You
at
don't
home.
know what's happening.
Dude, holy crap, man. What a time. What a time that was. Call him a basket case. Warren Smith. What's up, Warren Smith? For 20, says Trump's history just ages like fine wine. Best president USA has ever seen. Absolutely. It's good to see you, Warren. Warren's been here since the beginning, guys. Early days. Early days of CobraCast. Warren's been here from the beginning. Long and distinguished, as we're up against nearly unlimited bureaucracy plus a corrupt judiciary. It's going to take some time. Very much so. River Miles for $1. Look at River. Still dropping dollars. Look at him. River, still doing good, buddy? Hope you're doing all right. 8 o'clock says, can't forget these weirdos. We'll go after anyone with the Trump name for generations at this point. That is true. That's my point. That is my point about what I said earlier for those that might have missed it. But in terms of there are layers to what has to be done in order to build the infrastructure it takes to, properly go after some of these people. So keep that in mind. Dan says his biggest issue is Republicans are spineless. River Miles says, at my limit. You finally hit your limit. Well, hopefully you're doing well. Are you still in the chat, River? Let's see. You can type chat. It's fine. You still enough super chats tonight. Let me know, mods, if River Miles is still here. Let me know he's doing all right. Default says, I forgot what pure cinema the 2016 presidential debates were. Trump was slam dunking on fools left and right every night. It really was like that, man. And he was catching hell from everybody too. And that was it was something else, man. It really was. Let's see here. Okay. And all right. Bradman says, turns out the Middle East was a real estate deal. Ian, let's go Bucks, says debate audiences disappeared because of 2016 Trump. Yep. They couldn't handle it. Mod Eric says, vids keep coming out of Gaza. People thanking Trump for the food he's providing. Media will not let you know. Nope. They won't. Let's see. Digital says, lots of big soups tonight and no Sydney Sweeney. WTF, you ought to be giving out bathwater samples from her to make amends. Well, we haven't gotten an actual proper 199, but River Miles has been dropping bombs. So, because the chat would appreciate it, there we go. There you go, chat. River Miles and all the other big bombs that were dropped tonight. There's a couple of bombs right there for you. All right? There's a couple of bombs right there for you. And I'll give you the long version of the video clip. So here we go.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming and now it's turned around. It turns around and it's coming and it's gonna, I say, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's, oh.
There we go. And with that, we're going to call it. Been a good night. This weekend, if you're interested, this is where I will be. Tomorrow night and probably Sunday, I will be streaming Battlefront over there on D-Day Cobra Gaming. And we also, Mario Kart World is coming up next week. So there's going to be a ton of streaming for Mario Kart World. Between this channel, the D-Day Cobra Gaming, and Geeks and Gamers Play. So I can't wait to play Battlefront with all of you guys and gals tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Andrew says, this for River Miles. Look at that. River Miles. Look at that. River Miles getting some love. So, so hopefully you guys will hang out with me. We did how long was the Battlefront stream last night? Nearly 4 hours, almost 5 hours for Battlefront last night. And I expect it to be similar. Battlefront, when you get into those supremacy games, and Galactic Assault, they go for a long, long time. So, but thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the super chats. Absolutely insane. What's up, Keenan? I see you, brother. Laughing Man. It's kind of magic. Can Man here. 24 hours or bust. Jessica. Smigoli. Jay Otter, Corner Pub, Blue Ridge Bear, D. What, Lady Aaron D, Mouse Potato, AB, Warren Smith, Mola Ram, Isaac, June's Melody, Tay, Eric K. It says D-Day Cobra cannot see me. CJ, what's up, CJ? Billy Madison, what's up? Observer, Godzilla's Greaser. Chat's moving kind of fast on me now. A Proud American, Nick, Charles, Meat Bun, Macarena, Piddly Widley, Matt, Meme Machine, another Matt, Johnny the Whiz Kid, what's up, man? Dandy, Miki, chat's moving really fast. What's up, Carla, Luke, Dave, Laughing Man, Hair Reveal, not yet. But anyway, I hope you guys will come hang out with me over on my D-Day Cobra Gaming channel this weekend, playing some Battlefront. It will be fun. If you're not into that, I get it. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.